All set. Good evening. This is our Board of Appeal hearing for February 19th, I believe. And do we have minutes from last month? I know I had a peek at them. Did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes from January? And if so, if there's no changes or suggestions, could we get a motion to accept? Again, this is from January 15th. Okay, all those in favor? All right. All righty. We are televised, I believe. Is anyone else recording the meeting? No? Okay. We just have one petition before us, and it's petition 20-002 by Gianelli Management and Development Corp. for a variance of section 4.1.2.1, chapter 12 of the revised ordinances of 1991 as amended of the City of Malden, namely for single-family dwelling, the controls of dimensional controls for lot size as per the plans RES 032353 at the property presently known as and numbered 65 Central Ave, Malden, also known by the Assessor's ID of map 156, block 571, parcel 102, and as we will hear, a portion of what was known as map 156, block 571, parcel 107. And I believe Mr. Gianelli is here with us.
Good evening,
Michael.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, sorry, Michael, 1 second.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Hold on 1 second. Good evening, sir. My name is Adam Sherwin. I'm one of the members here. I live in Greenwood Street. I live right behind the CVS. It's pretty close to proximity. I wanted to disclose that. I don't think I'm going to be. I think I'll be able to be impartial for you tonight, but I did want to put that in the record. Is there any objection to me participating in this tonight?
I don't know. As long as I guess you can be unbiased. I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No issues.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. As you stated earlier, I am Michael Gianelli. I'm here on behalf of the petitioner, Gianelli Management and Development Corporation, looking to seek a variance for site size requirement only of 2,500 square feet. And I was wondering if anybody have any questions? I mean, we have the proper frontage. All other dimensional controls have been met, and with the exception of site size.
I'm going to suggest, Mike, if you could, just a synopsis of, how some land was acquired and what's there today and what you're proposing to do. Just elaborate a bit.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Currently, we have a property that houses a single-family dwelling with a detached two-car garage. Looking for a subdivision of the existing property. We'll create an existing 7,500 square foot lot, so 65 Central Ave will be a legal conforming use, which will leave 5,000 square feet, 50 feet of frontage required. And like I said, we're looking to construct a single-family dwelling on that site. The existing two-car garage is a legal non-conforming use, built approximately 1900. And according to my plot plan, it is approximately 4 feet from the lot line. Currently, with a proposed single family of approximately 32 by 24 foundation. Oh, I'm sorry. And as I mentioned earlier, all other dimensional controls have been met.
Okay, and so you're in front of us because it's lacking the minimum lot size
Correct, and we're looking to seek a variance,
for that issue.
correct, for that
Okay.
site size, right?
And the acquisition of the abutting lot through the court proceeding that you went through increased the size of the lot to work with, correct?
Correct.
From what was there
Yes,
a
the
year or so
existing
ago.
home of 65 Central Ave was adjacent to a Paper Street, Winchester Street. We partitioned the land court and had that road abandoned between us and the person to the other side. We have since been awarded, am I correct? It's already been approved, been awarded the additional 2,500 square feet, which now makes 65 Central a legal conforming lot of 7,500 square feet.
And by acquiring that additional, it brought the total lot area to 12,500 or 12,000? 12,000 or 12,500, I think?
12.5.
And you went before planning, is that correct? Okay. And you went before planning board a month or so ago, and they indicated approval not required, and they gave you the plan to create this now,
That's
5,000 square foot lot, which brings you in front of us looking for the variance to then construct a home. And you've submitted plans, and those plans will keep you in conformance with all other setbacks, front,
That is
rear,
correct. Yes.
density, height,
Yes.
those things.
Yep.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. I did speak with Mr. Miller earlier today because he educated me a bit in this area. And Adam, did you have a question right now?
Not off.
No? Okay. John? Okay.
In order to get for us to award a variance, there has to be conditions met.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
In order for us to allow a variance, there has to be certain conditions met, one of which relates to the land and the conditions specific to that lot that other than it's too small. But I mean, is there anything with the land that's strange, odd? And one of the other conditions too is, financial hardship.
It does. The rear of the lot has a pretty high slope.
But you're still able to meet everything but the square footage, right? I mean, the setbacks you're all set on.
Right. If I'm hearing you correctly,
Yeah.
yes, all the setbacks.
Other than the garage. I mean,
I'm sorry.
other than the garage.
Other than the garage. Right. The
Right.
new dwelling will obviously naturally conform.
Okay, and
Setback, side yards, rear yard.
I was looking at on the assessor's records. It showed that you had purchased the property back in 2016 for about 305 it says, and a mortgage of 404,250. And you still own that, right?
Yes, sir.
You own the whole shoot match, right? Both
Right.
pieces of land.
Right.
And the house is rented now,
It is.
and and it showed here that it was rented at $2,691 a month.
The exact rent.
$26.91.
26. And did you do it with triple net?
I'm sorry?
Did you do it triple net? I know you were requesting that.
Triple net?
No, you
So-
can't do a triple net, single family.
Well, you could, but I mean, because it says in here that that's what you were requesting, was
Oh,
that the
no,
tenant
that
paid.
was- I don't remember what you're looking at, but we didn't do a triple net, no.
Okay.
All they do is they pay the water.
All right, yeah, because it was actually from your company.
Well, I'm not sure what you're looking at.
Yeah, MLS listing
way
number.
back?
MLS
It
sheet.
didn't end up that way.
Okay, just, I wanted,
Yeah,
that's what I want to know is whether,
It's $26.91.
Yep.
They pay their share of the water,
yep,
whatever the water bill is.
yeah,
But taxes, insurance, all that stuff is ours.
that's on you.
Yes. Any other questions about the house? I'm sorry. My name is Paul Gianelli. I'm the president of Gianelli Management and Development. I think I can answer the questions about the house a little bit better. We purchased that dwelling back a few years ago, and in the process of selling it, okay, we decided to wait and abandon the Winchester Street next door, so we kind of decided to rent it out for a while we did that. What happened was that we got more than we bargained for because Altitude Apartments, which abuts us in the rear, kind of disputed the right.
They made a claim.
They disputed the right, and we had to file a lawsuit. And we went through almost over 2 years of lawsuits and fighting Granada Highlands, Altitude. And finally, a judgment, partial judgment, was issued to Gianelli Management by the court for their fee ownership in the right side of the property to the center line, and the other side. The right side of the paper street. Yes, the right, as you're looking at it, the right side of the paper street. The left side of the paper street is the abutter, Ms. Gomes, and because her land was registered land, the court dismissed her from the case without prejudice when they issued my judgment, and asked that she file her appeal to get a judgment through the land court, and that's where we are now. We're still working on that for her. The cost of all of that was borne by Gianelli. She didn't have the money to do it, so we tried to do it, and we did. So the house got to be to the point where we do have a construction loan on that house as well. So it's far exceeds 400. I think you said 404.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it far exceeds that, believe me. So financial hardship, we have one, and that's it. That we did this so that we could make one lot conform and try to get the other lot. Incidentally, 65 Central is called Lot 263, and the other lot is 264. And that's the way they were laid out on the parcel. Originally, they were two single lots, 5,000 each. They were merged back in the 70s. And that was our goal, to go in, make one legal, try to divide it to an A&R, and we did, and asked them to give us the other one so that we could get some kind of a relief back on a sale of some sort, building a house to help us out with 65 and that one. And that land, both in 65 and Lot 264, go to a slopey condition all in the rear. So the garage, I believe, is like mostly on the slope. And that's the way it stands today. We renovated the garage. The garage was put in, as Michael said, in the 1900s. We renovated slightly, put new doors on it and everything. It is far away from the existing 65, so it's not 100% functional at certain times of the year, so because of the long walk. And that's why we decided to divide it. And that's the way we stand today.
Okay. All right, John. Catherine?
I have two questions for you. Excuse me. Do you know if any other parcels are non-conforming close to the 5,000 square feet that you have, or are you
Other parcels?
other parcels in the neighborhood? Do you know how they sit? Are they conforming lots?
I can address that.
Okay.
I think a lot of the existing, if you're talking about the existing dwellings there, I haven't really, I'll be honest with you.
The neighbors around, the neighboring parcels?
Are they similar to the 5,000 square feet?
Right. Are they non-conforming as far as their lot size, or are they all, for the most part, conforming?
No, I would say they, with my best opinion, they're all non-conforming.
So you believe they're all smaller than 7,500?
They don't meet
square feet?
7,500 square feet, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, these are tight together. My other question for you is, are you planning on selling this, or are you keeping it as a rental property?
Oh, no, we'll plan on constructing it and selling it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'm not sure if the board is aware, but this lot already has an existing curb cut and water main on the sidewalk. Okay.
I did look at that in preparation for tonight. So as I looked at the neighborhood, Central is the subject, and then Truman and Winchester. It's generally all single families. There's a couple of two families, but more specifically with your question, Catherine, on Central, starting at Broadway, I'll give you the lot area, and again, these folks have 75 and 5.
Correct.
All right. This is Central coming up from Broadway. 67, 48, 5,000, 5,000, 4,500, 5,000, 66. The direct abutter, a nice blue bungalow.
Yeah.
They've got a good-sized lot, 7,200. Then these folks own 2 plot properties.
Yeah.
And then I think these folks here, looks like theirs is 5,000, and they're in a position to also pick up that other 2,500 when the court proceedings are done. Across the street, Central, back down towards Broadway, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 49, 79, 99, 5,400, and there's a big one, 11,000, 5,600, 5,000, and 3,800. So I was going to do the math on all of it, but I think most of the properties there are right in around 5,000, actually.
Which is the older zoning.
Right, which changed, I don't know, about 8 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Longer?
I think
12?
longer, yeah, it might have been longer.
12? Yeah, something like that. Okay. Okay, do you want to take a peek at the map? Okay. Sure. A second, Adam.
So I'm correct that the parcel here, this at one point was previously part of 65, and then you did the A&R to separate it? And was the purpose of separating, is that your goal just to get it sold, at some point just to sell this new lot? Build a house on it and sell it?
Well, if I understand the question correctly, we feel that it's, highest and best use of the property would be an additional single family. I mean, even if you drive by, it looks like a vacant site. I mean, it looks like something's missing. And I think it would be aesthetically more appealing. And quite simple, I think, like I said, a highest and best use analysis would be a nice, another single there.
The problem that I'm coming across is, as John had said before, we have to find a hardship for you. We're not allowed to find a hardship when it's self-created. So in other words, we can't just say it's a hardship because you subdivided the property and now it doesn't have the minimum lot zone. Is there any other can you help us out? Is there any other hardship beyond the fact that you subdivided it that would kind of let us give you what
Well,
you're
the
looking
construction loan on the property sort of does create a hardship for us, coupled with the topography, of the site now.
All set, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay. David?
Yes, Chair, I'd like to see that land plot plan you have, please.
This would be an assessor's map.
And just to perhaps give you a little bit of knowledge about us, we've built quite a lot of property in the city over the years.
While David's reviewing that, did anyone want to have Mr. Miller come up? Or, there you go.
I don't speak into the microphone anyway, and no one can ever hear me. But anyway, I got to wait till you put it on. The A&R, I mean, they allowed that. This was originally, there was deeds for 2 lots where this one house is. And
That's correct, and then
and
they
the city combined
became
them?
contiguous
yeah.
at some point. Would you know when?
I don't know the question, Sadie.
Oh, it was 2 lots at one point.
Yes.
Yes.
And the city probably combined them because it was one owner for the 2 lots?
Yes.
Back in the 70s, I think
Back
it
in the
was.
70s, yeah.
that it-
It became contiguous.
Yeah,
And that
back
would-
in the 70s when they built,
Granada?
made Glendale Central Ave a public way, they redid the street, and that's the same time they actually did the taking for Winchester Street. But the lots got merged. At that time in 1970, both lots had 50 foot of frontage. Both lots had 5,000 square feet, and both lots were conforming lots at that time.
Mm-hmm.
One had a single family on it, and the other had a garage on it as it is today. The garage and the driveway and the water utility service, water service. Okay, and it got merged. And what we wanted to do, we attempted a while back to unmerge it, but that didn't work too good. So, we took the next step, and that was to go and try to pick up the 2,500 square feet. And as I said, we spent over 2 years in court, which is very costly in addition to that, okay? And again, the financial hardship is that in order for us to sell 65 Central and stop renting it, we're not going to get a price that would help us out to break even on the house. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the second house would help that cause, and that's one of the financial issues. So that's why we went that route. That's why we went through all the grief to try to do this and make that lot conform.
And you needed the paper street, your part of the paper street, in order to get
Yes.
the
Right.
lot up to current standards, right, for square footage.
And to have the
So that they wouldn't let you do the subdivision without,
Right.
because you'd
Right,
end up
because
with
then we
2
would have had-
non-conforming.
We would have had 2 5,000 square foot lots, and we couldn't split it because both lots would still be non-conforming, and that don't work.
Yeah.
And the setback issue on the
So
existing
we had
house.
to make one conform.
The existing one?
The existing would have had a setback issue as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but you acquired that other piece over there.
Yeah, well, it was right next door,
Yeah.
too. It was the most logical way to do it, I guess.
Okay, good. All right, John? All right, nothing else? David, all set?
This is in Residence A, correct?
It is.
Okay.
So I think if you folks want to sit for a moment, and we don't need Mr. Miller.
Thank you very much.
You do? Yeah, okay. Mr. Miller, our zoning officer, if he might come up. Commissioner Miller, I'm corrected.
Thank you, Chairman.
He gets that right. Go ahead.
I have a quick question for you. If this was one lot, 1250, would they need permission to do two-family or some type of two-family dwelling on this lot? Would they need to come in front of us for a variance, or would they be allowed to do that by right if it was conforming?
If it were what size?
Well, currently, together, the lots are 12,500.
Well, they're no longer because he
Well,
got the plan book.
You're saying if they had left it at 12,500?
Yeah.
They would be short on the size of the lot for a two-family.
Which would have been, what, 14?
13,000.
13?
Yep.
But your point, Catherine, they could have contemplated doing a two-family.
yeah, I was just curious if that
Yeah.
would have been a conforming.
That's one of those rules in our zoning where there is no variance of it. So to convert to a two-family in Residence A,
Then
you
it's
have to
13.
hit the 13,000 square feet. the frontage, the parking, and there's no variance of that. So,
Okay.
and that's actually something that goes through planning
And
board.
so they would have been 12.5. They would have
Right.
just been shy a bit on that
Right.
minimum lot as well.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, that's my only question. Thank you.
Okay. So I guess we'll open it to the public. Are you folks participating? If you don't mind, if you could come up and just give us your name and address for the record. And
Nancy
then
DiGiacomo, I'm 66 Central Ave, directly across the street.
Yep.
My question is, where is the parking going to be? The present house that is there now is a 5-bedroom house. They have 3 to 4 cars parking there in the driveway overnight. During the day, there might be more cars. If you're putting another house up, where's the parking going to be for that other house?
Ma'am, I'm sorry, you say that what house has parking there?
The 65 Central Ave has their driveway.
Yep.
And the house is rented, and there's 3 to 4 cars that are parked in the driveway every night. It's a 5-bedroom house, so there's always going to be more than one car.
65 has 5 bedrooms?
It's a 5-bedroom house that's currently there now. So they're parking in the driveway. So if you're going to put a house between the driveway and 65, where's everybody going to park? I am directly across the street. You can't park directly on Central Ave, at least you shouldn't. It's where the fire department's constantly going through, so we don't park in front of our house. So where are the people from this new house going to park?
I'm sorry, ma'am, just so I understand, you're referring to the driveway that's in front of that shed to the left if you're looking right at the house?
The driveway is in front of the garage that's part of this land.
Okay, yeah.
That's where the people from 65 Central Ave park,
Currently.
currently.
They're parking on the paved area that's in the newly created lot.
They're right. So if you're going to put a house between that driveway and the 65, where's everybody going to park? They're all going to use that one driveway?
Who parks to the left of 65?
Is there going to be a driveway on the left?
I'll ask him to come up in a moment. Did you have any other questions or thoughts?
There is a driveway to the left.
No,
Okay.
I'm concerned because
Sure. Absolutely.
it's very densely populated
Right.
there, and we don't need more cars because of altitude. We can't get out of our driveways as it is.
Okay.
So now to have this directly across the street from me, I don't have a problem with the house, but I want to know where the parking's going to be.
Right. So we'll ask him to address it.
Okay.
Before he does, though, 1 second, Paul. John, what was your other comment?
No, I mean, I know that there is some paved area to the left of 65. So that,
That to the left of 65 is that 2,500 square foot that he's acquired through the courts.
right, but I mean,
Yeah,
that,
which will be his land.
which is, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
are you in that house to the?
She's across. Go ahead.
Oh, you're across the street.
Yes, Robin.
We're going to do one thing at a time, though. I'm sorry. I'm going to have the Janellis address this lady's comments, if we could, and then you'll be welcomed up.
Basically have the same comment.
Let me show you this.
Yeah. I had
I'll show it to the board. To answer your question, okay, first of all, we now have the parking on the left side of the house.
That's going to be a full driveway for the 4 cars parked in the 5-bedroom
This is,
house.
well, you can see, yeah, but the intention eventually is to try to work it out so that I build another curb cut in here and put a driveway in here. See that right there? That says proposed.
So you're saying the house is going to be back here? And
So
you
here's
put
the
a
new
driveway?
house that we're
Okay.
talking about. This is 65, the rental house. So we're thinking of putting a driveway in here with a curb cut.
And you're saying that's proposed, but how long before this happens? Because I don't want them parking so I can't get out of my driveway.
Oh, that won't happen. First of all, we're going to sell, hopefully, eventually,
Sell that.
sell 65.
Okay,
Because it's not going to be rented forever. We just had no choice.
right.
Okay, but that will happen. And there's no need of anything happening here until this starts anyway. But yeah, we'll do that before
that
this. But they'll
driveway
have here too.
The existing driveway will stay there,
That'll stay there.
and the house is going to be here, and you're saying there's going to be room between the existing house and that house to put another driveway?
Yes, right there.
Okay.
And again, don't forget that this is all, driveway goes beyond here, right here. This is all
We
paved.
own to the left of the house.
So that means
Mike?
all the people in 73.
Do you guys have a copy of that plan?
Well, that's,
Do you have, are you guys looking at that?
let me
plan?
explain, so you people
That
know.
shows everything. Okay, all right. That's a bigger version.
No, 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 what are you saying, that they won't have a place to park? They own a driveway on this side. They do.
The driveway, the one to the left of 65? or
Let me explain what's gonna happen,
Okay.
okay?
Of the
Can I
65
explain it
dwelling?
after?
Okay.
I don't wanna interfere with them. Oh, yeah, we will.
So you're talking, this is the lot you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
And you want to split it in half?
correct. Yeah, that's gonna be 7,500 square feet, not 5, because you got this side of it.
Yep,
Yeah, the existing property
yep,
will have 7,500,
okay.
and the new proposed would have 5,000. Okay, just as you see it here. And the driveway, this is the current driveway right now with the existing garage,
Right,
okay?
yep.
This is the existing house 65.
Yeah.
Here's a proposed driveway.
Now, this,
You're saying you own this, so these people will have no place to park.
no,
They don't own it.
there's a little more to this that I have to explain to you,
Okay,
because it's an agreement I made with them,
okay.
that I'm not gonna hurt them.
No, we just need
They'll
to
still
understand
end up
if we
with
count the
that.
parking
Eventually,
lot, we have a huge parking problem.
eventually, they're still gonna end up with that anyway. It's all gonna be theirs.
Okay,
They're gonna park there, I'm not taking it away from them.
I'm gonna let
Okay,
them
I agree to
finish.
that, but what we're gonna do is eventually divide this, and this all will belong.
Emily,
all
who is it
this
you wanna
right
speak with?
here Will be us.
The petitioner or
And the
Nelson?
driveway can be extended if we had to.
This, our lot will go, take it,
altitude fence, with the altitude, where there's a fence there, you're saying you're gonna go up there?
well,
that-
we
we're up there
currently own
already.
it now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up here and the lot's gonna take a left.
And then
So
all of
the-
that will be our land.
Right. And they're gonna
And we'll
maintain.
they'll maintain their paid parking, so we don't interfere with them.
Question is, I just want everybody to understand, we have a parking problem right there, so we don't want to exasperate that. I am the corner of Winchester Street.
Edge of
Probably
pavement.
everybody knows, altitude apartments
Another
stop
one, they're
down
putting,
on
I think he's gonna leave this.
Well, they
Just put another
shouldn't.
curb
That's who
cut.
you should
well,
be
they're
after.
putting
One
Well,
driveway
putting this on
side.
everybody.
This is the edge of
Nobody's
pavement
helping
now.
us in the city.
They
We've been
park-
talking to our.
Well, we don't want to interfere with the meeting here. Let's talk about that
It's only
after.
going to add to it if they don't have.
Well, they didn't own
Sure.
this until very
Absolutely.
recently. This was really,
Okay.
There will,
But now
just
they-
to close.
so that they could,
There will be
and the other
sufficient-
driveway they're talking about is way down, way
No,
down.
we understand your concern, but
I think I have it, Paul.
They will.
well, I'll waive you
Okay.
on the way.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Just easy, I think it's just easy so you don't have 4 cars,
Right.
backed up.
Is it different than the one? Oh, it is, yeah, okay, all right.
It's shaded,
Yeah.
driveway to show the proposed.
Okay, all right. Pass that down. The other young lady, did she have a question or comment? Okay, all right. No, right. We deal with it throughout the city, I know. Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah.
They only own to here.
One of the members, I think, had a question for the Gianellis, and that would be Emily. Right there, wait a minute. Okay, try it now.
Maybe this is for you, maybe this is for the neighbors too, but why would you put in a new curb cut for this proposed driveway when I have on this plan, there's something that says edge of pavement, and it looks in one of the pictures like,
Come up and see it?
yeah. So why wouldn't you just have this house park here where this says edge of pavement? This looks like this is a driveway. Why cut a new driveway here when they could just park right there?
Currently, this is Winchester Avenue.
But you were just
It's just
awarded
one.
with this court judgment, right, that this is yours now?
But this is what's paved right now. That dotted line is current
Yeah.
existing pavement.
But wouldn't that settle the fears of your neighbors if you said these people could just park here?
We just told them.
Oh, you just, okay. All right, all good, thanks.
Want to pass it down that way, Mike? Thank you.
So we've been kind of looking at Google, but I'm assuming right there, that's the lot you're referring to.
That's
Okay, and that's the part that you acquired through the land court
Yes,
case.
that is Winchester
Okay,
Street.
yeah, I thought I had that. All right, thank you. That's the paper lot, the paper street.
And what he was just showing you right there was this. That 25 would be for, we'll go with this lot to make it 7,500, and that 173 will get the other 25 feet. 2,500 square feet.
So is the new proposed
Correct. Yeah, this, we're going to allow the Gomes next door to maintain their parking on the common driveway. It's actually Winchester Street. So what we're going to do is we made a deal with them. Our lot's going to go like this, and their lot's going to go like this. So we'll take the back, so they can maintain their parking. They won't lose their driveway. Okay. It just works out.
Okay.
And
what's the subdivision?
that's a proposed new driveway for the existing home.
Right.
Okay.
This entire thing.
Right now, it's not there.
Right. Right. Just grass.
Yeah, we're proposing, so the Gomeses can maintain their driveway. We add additional parking to the existing home, and there's a driveway for the proposed new lot.
Right. Why is this subdivided into two sections here?
I don't know what that is. Oh, it's just proposed paper. Let me find out.
Okay.
Wants to know why there's a dividing line there. It says proposed.
Oh, because I made a mistake. I just made a small one and then extended it, so take that out.
He made a small driveway, but it can be.
Then I extended it, because we needed 5 cars.
So all 3 parcels will have adequate parking.
Right, 5 cars? We needed 5, yeah.
Okay.
Hearing, and you folks are all set, correct? Right? Okay. Close the public hearing, and anyone care to make a motion?
Are we opening up the discussion amongst ourselves or no?
No, go ahead. What did you want to talk about? Okay.
So from what I understand, there's going to be a new surface parking lot directly to the right of 65. That's currently grass, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a problem with stormwater runoff in Malden due to impermeable surfaces. So is it possible that you can make I mean, this is not required by ordinance, but is it possible that we could make a condition that the driveway be made from some type of porous or permeable surface where that water will go back into the ground like it is now? It's currently going into the earth, but if this is paved over, that's more stormwater runoff that's going to get discharged, ultimately end up in the river.
How many new driveways are we installing? Just one?
One's going to be installed.
Okay. And are you amenable to the recommendation?
Sure.
Okay. Anything else?
Other than that, I'm probably not going to be voting today because
That's right.
I think everyone's here. So
Yep.
I do recommend that this go forward. We do have a housing crisis in the city of Malden, and the more housing we have, that adds to our supply, which will help to bring down help to alleviate the lack of housing that we have in the city. So I'm generally for adding new housing stock. But I do like to condition that we think about the environment and have the new surface permeable, so that's not adding to our stormwater runoff problem in the city.
Could I ask a question pertaining to that? Would gravel suffice, like a gravel driveway?
I would say that removing the helpful. It's just something that collects heat, and everyone in the neighborhood feels it. So if you're going to add asphalt, I would say maybe just remove the other section of asphalt that is currently on that new acquired lot. Would that be?
I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm just thinking about having more, obviously, heat island effect and impermeable surface.
Yeah, the heat island effect, if you see the other asphalt, I don't know.
Right, right. Right, right.
Did you, Mike, you wanted to say something that was about whether gravel was acceptable? That was your comment, right?
Yeah, I didn't know the type of
Okay.
material, if just a gravel driveway would
Yep.
suffice.
Okay.
I would say it's kind of a difficult thing if they're going to sell the property and their owner's going to come in and probably do what they want. So I wouldn't be for them doing gravel, but I would say it would make sense for them to remove unwanted asphalt in place of, putting grass down. I'm sure neighbors would rather have some extra lawn instead of two, asphalt parking lots. Or I'm not trying to, it's just a sort of an unusual request, so I would say that it might be more likely that the next owner that comes in, if they had some awkward gravel driveway, they might just asphalt the driveway anyway, and they've got asphalt on both sides of the house, so maybe we can request that if they're going to add new asphalt, that they remove the other side, a little bit greener, a little bit nicer. Right, so I don't know if that's something that would be agreeable, but I would say that might be more pleasant to the neighbors.
The only problem with a porous driveway, parking vehicles, leaking gas tank, leaky oil, now you're not hitting a hard surface. Now you're having it go into the earth. So that in itself could create a bigger problem.
That's actually preferable to it getting, when heavy rain, it's getting washed into the rivers and ultimately into the ocean. So that's actually preferable that hopefully the vehicles parked there won't have leaking oil and gas, but they'll be, they'll be maintained. Once a year in Massachusetts, we require that all vehicles be, go through an inspection process. So hopefully that's not going to be the issue. But from my understanding, it's preferable to have a porous surface that would absorb that oil versus it getting washed into the waterways. But I'm not an engineer, so I can't speak on this, but I have seen demonstrations of this types of tile and different types of kind of hard surface that does absorb water.
I certainly understand your concern. I don't know if an additional driveway will make it that overbearing or overpowering. I do understand your concern.
John?
Yeah. When you were talking, you were saying something about you've been working with the neighbors on swapping some land, I guess, which we're not party to, but does this current paved area,
The current paved area, yes.
is that what you're swapping? Or just part of it? Okay.
Yeah.
This is presently Winchester Street.
Yep.
My apologies. This is Winchester Street. We were awarded 25 by 100 feet.
Yep.
It's currently 50 by 100. So what we're planning on doing is, their name is Gomes.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than us take
The whole
all of
street.
this, we're going to give this to them, half of it, and they're going to deed their back half to us. So this lot will actually be L-shaped. So these people can keep their driveway.
But right now, the paved surface is about like here, right?
According to this, it's showing
I think it's,
10 feet from the house.
yeah, it's about there, yes.
No. Yeah, so it's like about here.
So what you're saying is,
We're going to make, you see this L shape here?
yep,
It's approximately going to be just like that.
so they're getting all of that paved surface for the most part.
Yeah,
They're
so
getting
we
this back.
will have the back.
To here.
And you won't have a right to rip up that pavement, for Catherine's idea of let's.
Not on Winchester Street, no. If we deed it to them, well, the whole purpose is for them to maintain their driveway. That's it. Yeah. It's existing.
Yeah.
So they'll end up with 2,500 square feet more, as will we. And this, the shaded area, I'm not sure if you saw this. This is where our proposed driveway for the existing house.
So they'll no longer own this. Okay. Right.
All right, anything else? Questions, comments, and possibly motions? We have a regular full board here. Emily and David would not be voting. Of our other four members, anyone like to make a motion? All right, thank you, Adam.
I motioned to deny the petition. I don't think there's hardship here, unfortunately. The self-created hardship is not hardship. It's simply just subdividing a property alone is not grounds for hardship under a variance. We have the city has a minimum square foot size, and I just don't think there's grounds here for just trying to squeeze in another property, even though this particular lot's a little larger than usual. I mean, between the two of them. So I vote to deny it.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's two. Bill? Okay, and Catherine? All right, so unfortunately, it doesn't pass. A vote of 4-1. I was willing to support this. All right, sorry, folks. All right, anything else? I think Catherine gave out the CPTC, if anyone's interested. It's the 21st in March. If you go to their website, there's a registration form and an agenda for the different classes or workshops. They usually run 2 in the morning. They have a lunch with the guest speaker, and then 2 more in the afternoon. It's a full-day event, and it's like $50 or something to that effect. So, nothing else? Motion to adjourn?
So move.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 7:25.